Good morning, Year 4s. It is Monday the 20th of April and this is the first lesson back after your 2-week Easter break. Now I hope you had a wonderful and restful break and I hope you kept each other safe and washed your hands. Now the first part of the lesson you're going to underline the relative clauses. Now I have done 2 sentences and they both have relative clauses in them, so if you want to highlight or underline the relative clause and then underneath explain how you know they're relative clauses. Now remember, relative clauses gives us extra information and tells us more about the noun, and you can also know it's a relative clause by the relative pronouns it uses, which is who, whom, that, which. Okay, so if you want to do your starter, your learning attention today is to use similes to describe. Okay, so do we remember what similes are? If we think back to work we've done through Year 4 and work 2 weeks ago, we did some work on similes, do you remember? So similes is a figure of speech that directly compares two things. Okay, so it must have as or like in the sentence as well. So one simile I have made was the man flew through the sky as high as a bird. Now it's not saying the man was a bird, or it's not saying anything like that. It's saying the man flew as high as a bird. So in the reader's mind they're now thinking, wow, that man flew really high as a bird. Okay, so it has an effect on the reader using similes. Okay, so recall some simile facts, and then once you've done that, if you want to go and watch the YouTube video I have put, literacy said video, it is about a camel and the pyramids. Now that's our new topic, is the Egyptians. Okay, so if you want to watch that and take notes throughout, I want you to have a look at the camel and think, well, how is the camel feeling? What is he doing? How is he helping or not helping his master? Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to watch that, and then we're going to come and I'm going to give you the task, okay? Okay, now that you've watched that video, I want you to start your task, and your task is to write sentences that describe what the camel saw using similes. Now, we are going to pretend to be the camels today, so we've watched the film, we've understood what's happened, we're now taking the account from the camel, and we're going to write some similes about that. We are going to think about what the camel saw, what the camel did, how the camel felt, but we're going to use them and make some similes. So for instance, my simile that I've made was one I used earlier, which was the man flew through the sky as high as a bird. So when the man flew out of the pyramid, that's what I've described. The camel saw that, and he has used a simile to compare how the man flew through the sky. It's compared him to a bird flying. But your extra hot task today is to do the same thing. So write sentences that describe what the camel saw using similes and put in a relative clause as well. So for example, I put, the man, who was my master, flew through the sky as high as a bird. Okay, and that just gives a little bit more information. Remember, with relative clauses, you don't need to put them into the sentence. The sentence still would make sense without a relative clause, but it just gives that extra information about the noun, which is the man. Okay, so the man, who was my master, flew through the sky as high as a bird. So that is your hot task today. Okay, and when you finish that, your extension is your brain bubble. Remember, your brain bubble is just going over what you've done in the lesson and making sure you actually understand what we've done. Okay, and that is the lesson for Monday. So well done, keep it up, and I will see you on Tuesday.